You want to know what is often forgotten on the healing journey? Most people jump into habit changes and think that's all they need. And that's part of it. But they still find themselves feeling the resistance, feeling the disconnection, and all the confusion. So they become frustrated. As a result of all of this, they find themselves stuck and looping, sometimes starting and stopping without seeing any progress. Does this sound familiar? What I find myself doing often with my clients is talking about the programming. It's really because you haven't deprogrammed your programming. You're operating from an old system. Your programming and how you've been wired for most of your life is what's getting in the way of you progressing. Some of the things I learned during 2020 is that a fearful mind is easily programmed. So we're going to do a deep dive on this, where we'll discuss the origins of our programming, how it impacts our lives, and what we could do about it. And make sure that you subscribe and you're part of my Thrive newsletter, because I have a big announcement coming soon and my community gets first dibs. Welcome to Define Resistance. My name is Francis, and I help you overcome the resistance in your life so that you can live a more vibrant life that is filled with alignment, joy, purpose, and balance. First, let's get a clear understanding of what programming actually means in this context. Programming can be defined as the collection of beliefs, patterns, and conditioning that we inherit from our parents, from our family, from our social environment. It's the way in which we are shaped and influenced by the values, the ideas, and behaviors that surround us from an early age. From the moment that we are born, we are like sponges absorbing information and observing the world around us. And as children, we have a natural curiosity and a strong desire to understand and make sense of the world. So naturally, during this time, our minds are highly impressionable and we are prone to adopting the beliefs and behaviors of those around us. Of course, our parents play a significant role in shaping our programming. They are our first and most influential teachers, guiding us in the early stages of our lives. We look up to them as authority and rely on them for love, care, and guidance. And as a result, their beliefs, values, and expectations become deeply ingrained in our subconscious minds. And if we have grown up in a very chaotic, emotionally unavailable childhood, then that too will impact how we view the rest of the world. I actually did a whole video about being raised by emotionally immature parents, which I'll leave at the end of this video that you could check out. That stuff really does matter. Family dynamics also contribute to our programming. So our brothers and sisters, our extended families, cousins, aunties, and close friends all have their influence on us. We seek acceptance and validation from these individuals, often leading us to adopt their perspectives and beliefs as our own. And this can create a huge sense of conformity, where we conform to the expectations and norms of our family and social circle, even if it means that we're going to suppress our true desires and authentic selves. And this is what I hear often. I hear from folks that I'm not living an authentic life. And so the influence of parents, family, and close friends is powerful because it occurs during our most formative years, when our minds are most receptive to learning and adapting. So their words, their actions, their attitudes shape our understanding of ourselves, our capabilities, and the world around us. They provide us with a framework through which we interpret experiences and then make decisions. I hope this is all clicking, right? And this is why I ask my clients all the time. I say, who said this? Where does this belief come from? Where is the source? Who is the source? And then we track the source, and that's where and when the healing can truly begin. I also want to point out, not all programming is negative. This is why it's important to evaluate and question how useful or unuseful the programming is for you. The values and the beliefs that resonate with you, you can decide to choose which one you want to choose. Whereas the beliefs and patterns that hinder your growth and prevent you from reaching your fullest potential, those we could do away with. There are lots of things I learned from my aunt that I'm like, absolutely not. She's a very fearful individual, but she has some really strong values and really strong integrity that I try to model off of. But the real question is like, how do we break free from this program, especially when it's so deeply ingrained? Well, we got to do this through awareness, right? So first, to break from the limitations of our programming, we must first become aware of its existence. If we don't know it exists, then how can we actually change it, right? So by acknowledging that our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are influenced by external factors, we can begin to question and examine the beliefs we have internalized. And this process of self-reflection and introspection allows us to separate our authentic selves, our authentic desires and values from the programming we have inherited. And I also have 125 self-reflection questions that you could grab to get that started, to begin building that self-awareness. So here's some questions you could ask for yourself. So grab a pen, write this down. Which programming or narrative, belief system, patterns of thoughts and behaviors are mine? Which ones are from the influences around me? Which ones will I keep and which ones will I just let go of? Do I actually have my own beliefs, values, patterns of thoughts and behaviors, or are they someone else's? These are some powerful questions. And as you answer those questions, you might feel a certain way, but it's not about berating yourself or getting down on yourself or beating yourself up. But that awareness is going to help you begin to change the narrative. And it's going to help you to challenge negative thoughts. Question the validity and the accuracy of negative thoughts. Ask yourself, write this down. Ask yourself, is there evidence to support these negative thoughts? Are they based on assumptions or past experiences, or past belief systems, fears? Begin to ask for the evidence. This is what I tell my clients. Where's the evidence? Show me the money, as they usually say, right? Show me the money. Because what I find is that we're often holding on to outdated belief systems and paradigms that are literally no longer serving us. And next, you want to reframe negative thoughts. I am a big believer of a powerful reframe because, boy, when you have a powerful reframe, it's like the world opens up. Once you have identified that negative thought, reframe it in a more positive and empowering way after you find like, oh, there's really no evidence for that. Some people think I'm not good enough. Good enough in what? Sometimes people say something like I'm capable and deserving of success or something like that. But sometimes that's not enough. So when you say I'm not good enough for what, for whom, where's the evidence for this? And are there pockets in your life that you can actually see a window where you felt capable and secure? Because I'm sure if you do a bit of an audit, there are some positives in there that we're missing because they're being overshadowed by all this negativity. So I want you to take a moment and do that because this is crucial. If you think about every belief system, every pattern of thought, it's like a layer of clothing. You put one on, you put another on, you put your dad's beliefs, your mom's beliefs on, everybody else, and you're just carrying out layers and layers of clothing. And so what we want to do is begin to take each layer off so you can feel lighter and freer. And remember that our programming is not set in stone. With conscious effort and by questioning and challenging these belief systems and programming, we bring them to the surface and out of the subconscious. And this is how you deprogram the programming and reshape your beliefs. Anything that is out of the subconscious, out of the shadows can do no harm. But if they remain in the shadows, they will subconsciously move about the world in ways that you begin to do things on autopilot subconsciously without even realizing it. And this is why a lot of folks, they tell me that they feel very powerless. You might feel very powerless because maybe for quite some time, there hasn't been something of your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own desires, your own dreams. And when you adopt a programming that isn't yours, it can often make you feel quite powerless. So this is our opportunity to take back our powers. So by understanding the origins of our programming and taking intentional steps to break free from its limitations, we can create a life that is true for ourselves and live in alignment with our own values and aspirations. This healing journey is really a self-discovery journey where we reclaim the power to shape our own beliefs and create our own destinies. Question every thought because the mind will trick you, but the heart, my friends, will know. Next, you want to have an open dialogue if it's possible. Not all families are open to this. I mean, I live in a Caribbean household. Speaking Haitian Creole and trying to have my family understand that, it just doesn't work. So I'm not able to have quite an open dialogue. There are little things I could say and do, but most of the nuances of the English language just doesn't translate really well with my family. But if you're lucky enough, if you're fortunate enough that you can have an open dialogue, whether they're receptive or not, I really want you to take the moment to have this open dialogue because initiating open conversation with family and close friends about personal growth is an important step. If you can have an open dialogue with your family, with your friends, and just share what's going on with you, it might change some things. Because by sharing our desires, our goals, and the changes that we wish to make in our lives, we actually invite them onto the journey. And then we provide them an opportunity to understand our perspective. And it's okay to be misunderstood, by the way, if they're not able to. But expressing our genuine aspirations can actually help others to see beyond their own programming and challenge their own beliefs as well. I always tell about the story of buying that one-way ticket to Thailand, not telling anybody, because I knew that if I told somebody, they were going to talk me out of it. I was around people who, been in their jobs for like 15, 20 years kind of thing, waiting for that pension, waiting for that retirement. They couldn't quite understand what was this lifestyle that I was trying to engage in. Now, I hear my aunt say, oh, if I could, I would have traveled here, I would have traveled there. And it breaks my heart to hear her say that, because there was an opportunity for that. But our mindsets can really cripple us in so many different ways. If she wasn't so fearful, we could catch those flights. But, it is what it is. But you have an opportunity to change the trajectory of what's going on in your family, of what's going on or have been going on in your lineage. So take advantage of that. So when you have these open dialogues and you approach them with empathy, patience, and the genuine desire for understanding, because your loved ones are going to have their own programming, right? Their own belief systems that shape their perspectives. But this dialogue alone actually gives them an opportunity to explore their own beliefs and consider an alternative viewpoint without judgment. Again, you may find just by having these conversations, the people around you might be more receptive to your personal growth journey than you initially thought. Because sometimes we make up stories in our heads, like it's all up here, but we don't have any proof. And they may begin, as a result of you sharing this information, question their own beliefs, reassess their own limitations. And in some cases, they may even become your biggest fans. And we don't often give people the benefit of the doubt, but they might actually surprise you. When my son visited me in Thailand, he felt so proud because it was like the furthest place that he's ever traveled to. And he kind of did a lot of the stuff on his own. And now he has a point of reference of how far he could stretch. So sometimes people just need that opportunity to see how far they can stretch by you modeling that for them. And I know some of you might be saying, Frank, you haven't met my family. This ain't going to go down. And I get it. Not everyone around you will be open to this, and that's okay. You don't need everyone. You might just need one. Sometimes you don't have anyone. You have to do this solo. But at least you spoke your piece and you made a declaration, and now you could just move forward. And next, find a community, because the goal here is how can you create a nurturing community that's going to support you on this healing journey, on the path to deprogram the programming. Find people who can relate to you and what you're going through, right? Who can provide you with guidance and support. Because being surrounded by like-minded individuals, you already know that can inspire you to continue growing, to continue to expand beyond the limitations of your programming, because now you could see other people doing it and you get inspired by them. They get inspired by you. And it's this mutual exchange of joy and inspiration. Remember that building a supportive community takes a bit of effort, it takes time, but be open to forming those new connections. Be willing to contribute and actually support others, and be receptive to receiving the support in return. So make sure it's full of reciprocity and generosity. And then lastly, expose yourself to new experiences and perspectives. Please get out of your comfort zone, get out of the environment, get out of what's familiar. Challenge yourself, even if it's just a little bit, because you can't change your programming from the same place, from the same environment. It's kind of what Einstein said. What did he say? He said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Can't. So at this juncture in your life, you may need to seek new experiences, expose yourself to different perspectives. Just get out of what's familiar, because that will stretch you and challenge your programming in ways that maybe just kind of staying there and, writing in a journal might not be enough, but actually getting out there and experiencing life will actually just automatically expand your consciousness. So ultimately, and we're going to wrap this up, but ultimately, unpacking family and social influences requires lots of self-reflection, lots of courage, and the willingness to challenge inherited beliefs that no longer serve us. And by consciously choosing the beliefs and values that align with our authentic selves, we can actually reshape our programming and create new narratives that really empower us to pursue our dreams and to live a very fulfilling life. And remember, you have the power to redefine your programming and chart your own path to the life that you want to create. All you need to do is raise your consciousness to meet the life that you desire to create. Leave in the comments below. Let me know which part of this video was helpful for you, which action step that you're going to take to begin this process for yourself. And maybe share in the comments which programming is really like clamping your style, or should I say cramping your style right now, right? It's just like, it won't let me be great. Which programming won't let you be great right now? Subscribe, like, and share this video with others. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the other side of wholeness.